How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the home stretch of deep sleep. I really think we must be towards the end now. I did gather up a little bit of extra echoes from my last little run there. 10 to 15 unlucky. Dodge is pretty... I could afford crit... Wait, chance of 50% extra damage. Okay, you know what? Let's invest one in each of those. Level up a little bit more wider selection of things. Don't need the coal to have those now. This is probably still tuned into the extra max integrity. Yeah, I felt like I kind of needed to follow up on that. And, yeah, I think now I can head into the final dream. Well, I assume final. I don't actually really know anymore. The library. A library containing every possible book in existence. It's funny because, like, yes, but also so much more because, like, a book is everything. So, like, to call it a book kind of minimizes the scale of this place. While most of them are gibberish, by the laws of probability, one of them should contain information on how to defeat Thomas. So I feel like I need to go here, learn, and then go down to the foundation. So I might still have a few final steps. Crawling out of the tent in this wasteland, very, very don't escape for. An old tent, its fabric torn by harsh winds and burned by the sun, weathered and tattered. An old worn backpack, there seemed to be something inside. That looks very much like David's backpack as well. It looks like it could have been kept, it could have kept someone warm through the night. There's no reason for me to spawn in a match and do that, right? Like, that seems wasteful. This tower reaches towards the sky and doesn't seem to end. That's the library of everything, I presume. The tower seems to stretch out forever. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very much makes me think of Stephen King's The Dark Tower. I only read the first book, so I don't know entirely, but... Whoa. Just look at this place. Well, let's go get some instant gear. I guess maybe I will have to do like a little bit of fighting while I'm in here. I should at least be mildly prepared for that possibility. In that case, I would like a tiny bit of shielding, a little bit more offense, and a little bit of cleaving. I'll leave everything else where it is for now. Do I actually check like every bookshelf? In this book, all pages are blank, all but one. That one page contains information on a living machine, who thinking there was someone else there, got violently killed in the school playground. The next line reads, 1 year later. The story portrayed a man named Thomas, who always knew that would happen sooner or later. Strange. It's a comic book. One of those serious European ones, with gloomily drawn pictures and heavy use of black ink. It tells the story of an experienced school teacher who, knowing it's all just a dream, heard voices while being alone in a huge, scary mansion. The story ends at the beginning. This time, another person is present. Jonathan Sampling, a geologist, cosmologist, and crystallographer from SP4. That name has come up. I can't remember if it's come up in this or in one of the other games. Who sacrificed his life to undo these events. I didn't recognize the living machine one. I don't know what that's about. Opened book on the floor. Whoa, just look at this place, Amy mumbled to herself as she crossed the sandy threshold of the library's doorway. A stone floor partially covered with sand quickly gave way to the wooden one. In front of her, there were two chests possibly holding something of value. Amy looked around. The library was huge, and it was impossible to find what she was looking for on her own. She needed a librarian. Okay, that's intriguing. Yes, it also makes sense. Get a little bit of Dewey Decimal action, maybe. This seems to be an accounting ledger notebook. Between columns of numbers, you see mentions of Dr. Amanda Grodberg, another name we've heard before, a researcher and scientist who, while trying to block the door with a large wardrobe, exposed crimes committed by Sidereal Plexus Corporation in a parking lot. But then, it turns out all that was just someone's imagination, daydreamed by an obscure video game developer who is counting on you to continue his work. Is that Script Welder kind of having a little self-insert moment, a little meta-level thing? In this book, all pages are blank all but one. That one contains information on a wise judge who, after hearing weird rumors, caught a nasty cold in the middle of an empty road. There was a short mention of a man named David who was counting on you to continue his work. Oh, damn. That is very much like the thing we saw in the prison, so I assume we don't want to interact with that. This seems to be a filed police report. It's about someone's sister who, lost in the memories, was found dead, strangled on the mountaintops. And then the dream ended. A person who woke up was an obscure video game developer who had no idea it was a part of a much greater plan. Strangled on a mountaintop. I can't think of what game that is. This book doesn't have a cover. The slightly damaged pages tell about a duck who, feeling an imminent werewolf transformation, met time-traveling visitors from the future by a locked lighthouse door. The next lines are crossed out, but you still manage to read about a serial killer who recorded everything with a handheld VHS camera. The werewolf thing goes back to Don't Escape 1, but then the duck and the time traveling, the lighthouse, like there's an intermingling of the different stories here, and then it's just a duck, I think, to represent, the infinite possibilities. This seems to be a movie screenplay with scenes and dialogues describing a story of a part-time waitress who, while quietly crying inside, wanted to know more about the history of the area in a dark basement. Next paragraph says, "Don't miss the next issue," and proceeds to tease the continuation of the story describing a famous writer who made a conspiracy theory out of those events. Half of the pages in this book have been fused together and can't be read. From the remainder, you puzzle together a weird story of a black cat. Are we just going to read every book in this place? Is that Amy's plan? Who, feeling this has already happened before, pulled a mysterious lever in the middle of a mall. In a weird twist, it turns out it was all planned by a grown-up orphan, Cody, who visits the place once every year to think back on those events. Weird mixing and matching of the stories in an infinite multiverse kind of way. It's a dark and gritty science fiction novel about a group of soldiers who, while chewing on something disgusting, attacked an innocent child at a remote Arctic research outpost. I wonder if there's some degree of mad-libbing going on here. The genre, or the group of blank, or what they were doing, or where it was located. All that could be getting built on the fly here. Wait, that wasn't in the script, exclaimed a well-known celebrity named Mark, who sacrificed his life to undo these events. Oh, yeah. That's what I think is happening here. This seems to be a filed police report. It's about an experienced school teacher who, thinking there was somewhere else, solved a puzzle in the poisonous swamp. It was apparently written by a thief hiding nearby who felt his days were numbered. Same bookshelf again. I like that Amy moves around the bookshelf. The book is written backwards. It's really hard to read, but somehow you manage to decipher the story of a talented tailor who, lost in the memories, woke up disoriented by a remote cabin in the woods, far from civilization. Can't allow this to ever happen again, said a famous stand-up comedian who is just an unimportant background character. Okay, I'm glad I clued in eventually. I guess there was kind of a format to it that eventually informed that was happening, but if I just grab another one, yeah, okay. But the fact that there was mention of characters and names that were familiar, mostly specifically the names, started to give the impression that there was important lore to glean from these books, but it's all random infinite insanity. So Instead, I'll just run my way through and try to avoid monsters when I can. One more human bone, please. Don't have quite enough of those yet. This is neat, though. It's a really cool concept, and that's an effective solution. A librarian. Honestly, I found one sooner than expected. Maybe there's multiple. Hey, you there. Huh? You're in a library, if you have not noticed. No running. But also, no shouting. And most importantly, no whistling. That's a theater rule. Most importantly, no food or drinks. But also no whistling. I'll do my best. Librarian. Just librarian. Not even the librarian. That would be quite arrogant, don't you think? I don't know. Maybe. Who am I to judge? Now, that being said, welcome to the library of everything, Amy. Are you looking for something in particular? How do you know my name? Oh, so this is the first time we meet. Forgive me. Linear thinking is not something I'm really used to. I'm confused, but this shouldn't really surprise me at this point. So we've met, but I don't remember it? You don't remember it yet. Or maybe it was some other version of you. Either way, I don't meet many people here, and the ones I meet, I end up remembering. Do you know what the Guardians are? Dream Guardians? Of course. I'm pretty sure I have a book about them somewhere here. I was actually wondering if you're familiar with a Guardian named Tutu. Oh yeah, I know them. One of the old ones. Good person. Diligent and conscientious. Has a unique fashion sense. Why do you ask about Tutu? No reason, really. Tutu is a friend. Oh, you know them in person. That's great. Say hello for me. Will do. You mentioned the old ones, as in the old Guardians? Yes, back in the day, way in the past, things were a bit different. People had to believe in many things to explain what science could have not explained to them yet. Similarly, they asked for help, believing the same beings that were used to explain thunderstorms and sunrises would also come to their aid in need. You know the power of the human mind in this realm. No wonder the need for guardians conjured them into existence. Quite funny, if you think about it, believing ancient gods created humans when it was the other way around all along. But those days are gone. For better or worse, people can explain the universe much better now. But they're still far from the truth on so many fronts. Nevertheless, they believe less. And so, not as many guardians come into existence anymore. If they do, they are mostly more personal, smaller, and weaker. In the form of children's toys, for instance, the plush tiger. Because children believe in their toys saving them. I'm looking for my brother, Thomas. Oh my, so this is that version of you. I'm so sorry, Amy. Wait, what? What do you mean? Nothing. Forget I said anything. I find that rather difficult, so if you can, please elaborate. Okay, Amy. There's no easy way of saying this. What your brother has become is an uncomfortable situation for everyone here, not just the ones directly involved. Death would be a salvation for Thomas right now. Delivering it would be a release not just for him, but for the entire realm. And that is an obligation I would not want to wish on anyone, especially his sister. My brother died. This echo of his... I'll do what's needed to put it to rest. I'm here to find out how I can do it. Perhaps you came to the right place then. Maybe I can help you find the way. Whatever you do, keep in mind, erasing his echo might not be the only outcome. What do you mean? What else can I do? I'm a librarian, Amy. I can point your way to a book. Opening and reading it is your job. So, not only are many people accessing the same place in their sleep, but also different worlds, different realities, as if things weren't complicated enough. The places where the fabric of reality can be shaped by the human mind are also the places where this fabric is the thinnest. And there are an infinite number of them? That's why you need an endless library to keep all those stories, Amy. If there are infinite versions of me and Thomas, how does all of this have any meaning? Realities influence each other, sometimes converging, sometimes splitting as they go. None of them are irrelevant, and each of them has some meaning. And this one should mean the most for you, because it's the only one that's yours. You mentioned you could help me. I have to defeat Thomas. Yes, as a librarian, I can point you to a book worth reading. That's a figure of speech, right? No, quite literally. This is a library with all the answers, all the stories. Things that happened, that will happen, that could happen. Things that never happened and will never happen. The library has it all. You just need to know where to look. If it has all the stories, including things that never happened and will never happen, what good can it do for me? Why should I care about things that could not and will not happen? This is why I want to point you to the book containing the right story, Amy. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but just a certain guardian, you all talk, just like a certain guardian, you all talk in riddles, instead of just telling me where I need to go and what I need to do. Why can't you just tell me how I defeat Thomas? I'm curious if all the books of like things that will never happen are possibilities, and so like there's still free will and there's branching choices. And so those books need to exist because it is an outcome that could occur, even if it never, a branch never reaches that point. It's just infinite possibility being mapped out. But I also wonder if reading a book of a thing that was never meant to happen would cause it to happen. And that's why, you can't just go reading the books willy-nilly the way someone was doing. Who would do that? That's insane. If it only was that simple. But think, Amy, how could I possibly know every story in this library? It's impossible to memorize every book if you have an infinite amount of them. But I know where you can find the book that you need. Your brother is untouchable. Nothing can harm him. He cannot be defeated directly. You know it, and so does he. Yet there is another way. And that way is described in the book you mentioned? Precisely. Alas, your brother knows this book exists, and while he can't destroy it, he made sure it's well secured. Secured. He couldn't destroy it because of the nature of this place, right? Because it always contains a book about every possible version of events? So there is probably a book about how he tried to destroy that other book, but also that other book will still exist? I must say, this is giving me a headache. And yet you seem to understand it perfectly. I mean, perfectly for a being with a perception of merely 5 dimensions. 4 dimensions to be exact. Details! Regardless, the book. Come closer. I will give you something that you need to get to it. It's funny, I haven't seen one of these like classic library lamps in real life in a long time. But I'm nostalgic for them. A key. I was expecting, I don't know, something less obvious? Is the book behind the door opened with this key? No. There we go. I knew it. The book is kept away, like I said. Your brother doesn't want you to get it. But it is not impossible. The key will lead you to a place where you can get a full picture. So, Thomas knows about the library. He's been here. Yes, he visited, leaving some of his chaos, as you have or will witness yourself. How did he know about this place? He has been here even before his unfortunate transformation. See, the library isn't as hidden as you might think. Sometimes people that are looking for answers or alternate solutions to problems find it in their dreams. Thomas has been to the library without even knowing what it really was. So when you wake up and you just have a moment of inspiration, you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that before? You've visited the library. Unfortunately, it led to him returning here later with more sinister intent. That being said, I strongly believe you can stop him, Amy. You've got what it takes. Thanks for everything. Don't mention it. Until next time, Amy. I guess I should probably try to go back to there. It looks like I have a lot of options of different areas to branch off to, but first thing I want to go revisit that area that I previously kind of missed. And I'm still planning to kind of just dodge around fighting the enemy if I can get away with it. Right, okay. It's just the branch off of like the the first real room that you're in, and it looks like there's nothing in there, so there was no reason to go back. Oh wait, I just I was trying to get back to where I was talking with the librarian, and I ended up in a new area. So that's where I need to use the key, I would assume. But first, I told you, Amy, no running. I can hear your loud stomping from 2 rooms away. Sorry, force a habit. Also, I'm in a hurry, you know. Is that so? That's really funny, actually. What happens if I just run again right now? Sucker, I'm such a rule breaker. I just figured there had to have been like a thermos or like coffee or one other thing to gather up before I move on. Okay, several other doors. As I was leaving there, I noticed there's a book missing on this shelf, which makes me really want to go here. Okay, 1 book is missing. There's something in the back of the empty space on the bookshelf. Triangle? What are all these rusty blades, the missing pieces, the rule of 3s, turning points of space and time, the only guide to our own world, a duck, a gopher, and a snake, the 18th century lighthouses, a tale of a volcanic disaster, and the Jewel of the East. So anyway, there's like a play button back there. Maybe I need to be keeping an eye out for other empty shelves. I walked right into this. Kinda didn't think that could happen. Well, I should be able to bash through this pretty well. I have that extended slow now, which is nice for just such an occasion. I can't really tell how much health is left there. This should be fine. Take that last bit of bleed damage. Pretty decent echo reward on that. All of those seem to be full. I guess I should spawn back in at least my pickaxe there. Pretty limited on things now. The lighthouse. Oh, okay. So we're all right. There's a puzzle for doing the order of things. How much of this is me needing to have memorized the order of the games? Is this the familiar dog painting? I think it might be. But like, I wouldn't expect the game to just ask you to memorize that. Oh, maybe there's a continuous picture being drawn here. I'm thinking now that's more the case. There's just a little bit of continuity going on right there that's making me feel that way. This hill would continue with that hill. I kind of just want to drop one of them on the floor. I kind of made this harder for myself. Maybe I can probably swap them. The game let you do that. There was like another instance. Yeah, okay, that makes it a lot easier. Snowy mountain. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, there's the corner of the mountain and whatever's going on the layer behind it. All the way to the snowy familiar dog. Oh, no. That's got to go in between those. Yeah, I think you can see how that kind of continues from the mountain there. So this damn dog that's been a recurring painting in like every game as far as I can remember, suddenly is relevant? Maybe there's one more painting out there. Or do I think any of these are wrong? I think the way the water, and you can even see the transition from night to day, and then again to black, and again to sun. I think there's one more. I think there's one more painting out there. That's my working theory here. And I still haven't even used the key. Oh, is this the neighbor, the guy I've encountered numerous times? It is. Hey, you there. Be quiet. Remember, you're in a library. What? I didn't even say anything. You're too loud. What do you want? I told you. Be quiet. Don't make so much noise. It's a library and you're way too loud. Fine. How about now? I'm whispering. Is that better? Are you happy now? You're still too loud, miss. Who are you? What do you mean? I'm a librarian. I work here. I don't understand why you are confused. Who are you really? I keep bumping into you. You look a bit different, but I remember you from the casino, from the train, the hotel, even my neighbor, who apparently was also a part of the dream. Miss, you are really confused. Please calm yourself, and most importantly, be quiet. It is a library. You have to be quiet for your own safety. For my own... What? Yee, freaking me out, man. I'm gonna leave you alone. I don't think I want to hang out with you anymore, man. This is now I'm full of doubts. There's okay, so did the play button, the triangle in this room, does that inform anything for these paintings? I don't think so. This is just back to the librarian. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to the room. Yeah. I was curious if she would interrupt me again. Oh, I've met another librarian. And what is odd about that? I said I'm a librarian, not the librarian. You couldn't have expected an infinite library with just one librarian. I don't know what I expected. I thought you might be like the main librarian? A shift manager? A shift manager. You know what, Amy? I like you. You seem completely lost, yet sometimes you say something that's just on point. Aha, so I was right. In that case, can you do anything about him? He's really not very cooperative. Oh? What did he do? Nothing. That's the problem. He just keeps saying I should be more quiet. In that case, I think you should listen to him. We're in a library. Remember that. Yes, but it's not that I'm shouting or anything. Yes, but did you actually try to make everything completely quiet? I tried whispering. You can still be loud when whispering, you know. I'm sure you'll figure it out, Amy. Now, is there something else? Okay, well, I guess I'm wondering if I just need to go back there and just stand perfectly still, because I don't have any way of dampening sound or anything like that. And I assume I'll be able to go back. Okay. Oh, so this is literally just like a little reprieve. Okay. Yes, pick up a painting, add the painting. And, oh, I never made my valuable coal. What was I thinking? Should have been the first thing I did. I'm just noticing there's a chest in the corner there too. So, yeah, we were missing a photo, of course. I'm curious where that fits into it all. And that photo is the cabin from Don't Escape 1. Which, like the snowy environment and stuff, like I don't think any of that actually ties together in a I keep trying to run. Just trying to sneak by ya. Let me do my own thing. A librarian. It's funny it describes it like that. A librarian busy browsing books. Yeah, I don't think I have any sneakers or anything. Is that what I'm going to unlock here? It's a little silly if so. Do I think this just continues on here? It is just grass. That doesn't flow. It doesn't flow very well. It should just go in the middle here. There's clearly like a little bit of like tree stumpage Or some sort of something like a hitching post. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, that was it. Sounds like something opened. But what? What could it have been? Could it be the thing in the same room as you? The mysticism of dreams. So that one of these will have like a little triangle on it, won't it? The key to success. A small talk at the back of Beyond. Oh. What is the name of the other script welder game? I have to go look it up. It was just called A Small Talk, and it came out after the first Deep Sleep, but before the first Don't Escape. So that is probably meant to tie in, especially because it's written in all lowercase. The title of that game was all lowercase. A golden statue and a lucky lump of coal. I do love my lucky lump of coal. And that's everything. All right, I can examine these, right? Because I want to do that. A dusty old book entitled The Mysticism of Dreams. It seems to be very spiritual in nature. Actually, do you know what? This is a book I think you can find in Don't Escape 4, maybe? Recurring nightmares are often considered to be something more than just a dream. There are more than several documented cases of nightmares actually coming true, which suggests they can be treated as sort of warnings. A prophetic dream doesn't have to perfectly come to fruition. More often than not, the dream is a metaphor, a projection of the unconscious mind that has come in contact with information about events that are yet to happen. How is it possible, one may ask? This question remains unanswered. We live in a world ruled by science and dominated by technology, yet there are some mystical things lying underneath the veil of reality that control our lives to a degree much higher than you, dear reader, could ever imagine. Whatever the case may be, remember that dreams are more than they seem. Just like not understanding physics doesn't make it less real, the fact we don't fully comprehend dreams doesn't render them irrelevant. The key to success. Looks like one of those psychological or self-improvement books. Sometimes you're holding a key to your success right before your eyes, yet you fail to see it. Have you ever faced a problem seemingly without a solution, only to discover it was in your hands the whole time? If so, this book might be for you. We can't promise we will find the key right away, but we will help you turn things around in the right direction. This isn't an ordinary book. All the pages seem to be glued together, and the cover, I think I can push something here. There we go. Very funny. So, can I rotate it? Do I just need them all to be rotated pointing to the right? Funny that the book about, a key is the, it is a key. It's a funny little puzzle there. The puzzle is like loose for that. It's just funny. A heavy book by someone called Eldak, which totally comes from that game. It seems to be a sci-fi novel. A Small Talk at the Back of Beyond is a novel about a lonely spaceship's computer that, doomed to die, tries to deceive the last remaining crew member into staying on board, desperate to keep them around, not to die alone. When the truth comes out, the astronaut has to make a choice. Take a very slim chance of survival alone, or stay with the conscious computer in their last moments. Cool, very cool to tie in that book. And the golden statue and the lump of coal. On the cover, there is a picture of a golden statue, a kneeling knight, or a soldier armed with a sword. No idea why a lump of coal would be considered lucky by anyone. Well, I find them very lucky these days. It briefly describes the principle of all that glitters is not gold. There's a Smash Mouth reference in this game. Not everything that looks or feels important actually ends up holding any value to us. In hindsight, so is this book. What an insane, long build-up that was for that very specific joke. I love that made it in there. Like, come on, man. That's so stupid in the best possible way. As if I couldn't love script welders' work enough. Alright, in you go. I'm just assuming I inserted it the way... it's a mirror image, of course. Weird, this book is exactly the right size, but somehow it still doesn't fit. Something at the back seems to be blocking it. No, it's facing right, so when you flip the book around, and yeah, easy solution. And I'm just very much guessing that I also have to do the same for these. I didn't really inspect to see if there were notches in the top and bottom of the shelf that would inform what direction those need to fit. So that something is still wrong there. Damn it. All right, I'm underthinking it at this point. So it needs to point inward. They both need to just point inward, which inward from the shelf's perspective, outward from the book's perspective. That should do it. Right? Oh damn. Still just unsuccessfully shoving it in. Okay, what am I missing at this point? Because like, yeah, okay, so button to the right. So like, if I have to the right, you spin it around, right? Or what? I'm just trying to get a better look at those. That, like, I'm pretty sure they're both dented inwards. Oh, I can zoom in and out. The zooming doesn't really help. I can't, it wouldn't make sense if it was pointing to the side. It has to be pointing inward. So, am I just thinking about this incorrectly now? Because when it... See, no. When you put it in like that way, it's pointing the correct direction. I feel very confident in that. So what is wrong about the top and the bottom now? Maybe that top one, just because I can't... Like, on the bottom, I can catch both angles, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm able to see both sides. Whereas this top one, I can't see that side. I can only see that one. So maybe that means that it's turned that it's not pointing directly inwards. So the bottom one, and I was just messing around with things, so I'd flipped it. That I still feel good about. And like that, is that, it doesn't, it's hard to see if that's what it's going for. Still no. Still not thinking through this correctly. There, I tried different orientations of that top one. The bottom one that wedged in made sense. The one on the side made sense. That top one was like hard to see, but whatever. It was one orientation of it eventually worked. Okay, two options. Actually, I do want to go back to the other librarian. And I kind of just want to stand quietly next to him, I guess. And just leave it for a minute and see if that results in anything. Standing around has done nothing. Alright, I don't know what you want from me, man. Maybe there'll be something I find later in the library that I bring back to there. But, standing around next to the guy was not yielding results for me. It's funny how, I don't know, proud of myself I felt being like, oh, there's not a book on this shelf, and realizing that, like, the game was so directly putting a spotlight on that. That book also, in a similar fashion, seems to really heavily just be in the light. But that might just be something to do with, like, the layout of the room. There also looks like there's, like, a skull there. But yeah, seemingly not actually something that can be interacted with. Oh, it's toasty in my room here today. Sweating through this recording. A bag. Makes me think of the hotel bag puzzle from way back when. But seemingly just the one bag. The game feeding me a first aid kit right now has me a little wary. I think I'm gonna bring a gun to this fight. Whatever kind of fight it ends up being. Let's see. Do I add any more than that? Let's hold it there. Ooh. High level defense probably will be useful, actually. If not right now, eventually, so I'm kind of investing in my future. A crowned statue. Statue of a king wearing a crown. Stack of seemingly random books lay on the table. Eighth wonder of the world, the seven deadly sins, devil of the pentagram, four seasons, holy trinity. So it's already 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're missing 6. So you can shuffle them around. I feel like I need to add a book, though. Do you want to pick up a crown? I feel like I'll get attacked for doing so. Without a crown, the king is just some person like any other. A shiny golden crown with rows of even shinier gems. An adornment of a true ruler. Okay. Nothing to interact with, as far as I can tell. Plaque. Looking down upon the kingdom, the crown bearer sets the rules, bringing order in his wisdom, guided by the shiny jewels. Okay, so this, the crown is color-coded. Should have recognized that. So, blue at the bottom. This will be hard to keep track of, actually. But I guess I don't need to memorize the colors. Like the 5 and the purple is 8. Yeah, the red is 3. So orange, purple, red, green, blue. Orange, purple, red, green, blue. Orange. That's not orange, I guess. And none of this is moving how I thought it would. Oh, you're just choosing which thing goes to the top. Orange, purple, red? Is that what I... green, blue? Or I should have thought of it the other direction, I guess. Orange, purple, red, green, blue. Orange, purple, red. So orange... Damn it. Orange, purple, red, green, blue. Let me see. Orange, purple, red, green, blue. Yeah, so I got that, but like I'm hesitant to call that orange. And also the issue I have with that is that the top thing with the orange is 5, whereas the pentagram was the 5. So do I need to go off of the number, not the color? Is there anything else? Is there another room here? There isn't. Can I use the crown? Okay, well I guess I have to try and go off of numbers then. Which I was trying to avoid doing because it seems annoying to keep track of. Just alright, so 5, 8. Wait, there is no 8. Damn it. How does this work then? I can't interact with this. I don't think I can like rearrange things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens, I think. Just yeah, and it was the pentagram was 5. And the orange is 5 as well. So let me try and really keep track of the greens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's only 4 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blues. So 7 at the bottom. Then 4. Then 3. So 7 at the bottom. Then 4. Then 3. And there was a 5 at the top. There we go. The colors threw things off. But, you know, there's colors or numbers. It was one or the other. It just keeps going. This infinite library never ends. I do like seeing all the in the background there. It's cool. A glassy dome. Jeez. What was something? I feel like something just squelched and wigged me out a little bit. What am I hearing? Maybe that's just the cracking? Nah, something. I don't know. Is that still not enough? Just give it a good old punch. Punch it with your fists. I don't want to waste more things. I don't have, I guess, screwdriver it? Oh, damn it. It's not strong enough. What is my, like, next least strong thing? Damn. Really made me waste a bunch there. Yeah, now obviously I gotta fight something now. The Fate of Thomas. Yeah, let me read that immediately. There we go. Wow, that really didn't look like him zoomed out. But there we go. The book describes how an indestructible evil entity previously known as Thomas could be defeated. At the very bottom depth, at the foundation, there exist 3 pillars of the dream. Upon their shoulders rests the whole weight. Without them, it collapses. The dreamer wakes, the curtain falls. So you gotta bring down 3 pillars. That's it, the dream's foundation. Breaking the pillars. Waking up the dreamer. Thomas. Not sure what it'll do to him, but it will definitely end this nightmare. And now I definitely need to fight my way out of here. But this is it. Like, these things are not that tough, and seemingly getting through them is all I really need to do here. Yes, let's take a defense here. I should confirm what... Wow, that was the slowest attack animation in this game yet. What the hell, you guys? Face hidden behind a mask, body wrapped in cloth, tall, silent, solely focused on causing pain. Okay, luckily it's not a multi-attack. That's actually very, very good for me, because it means the Ankh will actually be useful. Let's focus on throwing some poison then onto this main one here. I didn't really look at how much damage it was going to do. 5. But I'm guessing it's just going to keep... Alright, I thought it might just keep queuing up attacks, so I was kind of prepared for it to be going after me hard like that. Oh, I really don't want you to attack right now. I should have slowed you. I should have slowed it. Because I only have the 2 Ankh charges. You're gonna mess this whole thing up pretty majorly. Please don't attack first. You definitely are going to, though, or at the very least second. Ah, damn it. Yeah, it attacks second. So, huge waste of the Ankh here. Dodge, 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 dodge. Go, Amelia. Go, Lucky Cole. Yeah! What are the odds? Okay, well, the odds are calculable. We could figure it out if we really wanted to. It's not that crazy. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna shoot it this round. 5 damage. That's a little bit of a waste, actually. Just a little bit. Yeah, I won't go for the shot this round. Neither of them are queuing up like a devastating attack, so I might as well just use a regular shield. I'm still eating 3 damage on that. But then, as long as it doesn't instant queue up attack and attack again. Why is this is so painfully slow, like in a way that other battles haven't been? I kind of don't know why these guys feel like they're moving at a snail's pace, even compared to the ones that are the equivalent of this that I've fought before. I don't think we're quite like this. Yeah, I better try and shield. I'll still take a ton of damage here, right? Oh, I'm pretty lucky there. All right. Let's poison the other one, because it'll just sit there taking damage. I only have the weaker shield. Yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. That hurts. It stings. But I could just start opening fire here. Does the revolver cause that much bleed? No, it doesn't. I don't, that's still the spider bite bleed. Right. No more spider. No more revolver either. I don't have a ton more going for me, but I can apply bleed, slow you down. I'll be fine. I got this. And that last little bit of bleed, miney. Barely, though. Like, that did use up most of what I had going for me. Interesting, funny, frustrating, all sorts of things to make you waste whatever your, like, lowest tier item is. Not even the screwdriver, though. Like, something better than the screwdriver. Right at the end there. Like, very tricky. But easy enough to deal with. I also don't know if this has been nerfed. I feel like there's like the point in time where I showed that the game had kind of overall been nerfed a little bit. And so like, I definitely had someone in the comments who was like, oh, I can't believe you did the 1v1 Amy fight without like certain upgrades. It was so hard for me. And it's like, you might have been playing on a harder overall game. Lots of echoes there actually. Should be able to spread that around to quite a few different things. Let's chat up to about everything we just dealt with. I found the book about Thomas. Splendid. I knew you could do it, Amelia. Please, tell me, what did you learn? Thomas resides at the foundation of his dream, and within the foundation, 3 pillars are located. 3 pillars. Let me pose an assumption. They support your brother's dream. When destroyed, the dream would begin to collapse. That's what the book said, but what does it mean exactly? What would happen to Thomas? He can't wake up, he's dead. Indeed, this would very likely be the end for him. What is wrong, Amelia? If I may remind you, you embarked to seek your brother's end yourself. You expect me to be happy that I have to kill my own brother again after you did it the first time? I apologize, Amelia. I did not want to insinuate that you would find this deed pleasing in any way. I am deeply sorry for this predicament. It's fine. I forgave you, and I'm not taking that back. I'm really glad to hear that, Amelia. I'm sorry for this outburst just now. I know we're on the same side. Our friendship means a lot to me. I apologize for my lack of touch. I know a lot about dreams, but interactions with humans is not my specialty. I'll keep that in mind. So, the dream's foundation. Indeed, if we destroy the pillars, the dream will begin to collapse. Your brother doesn't have a body to wake up in. He will come to crumble together with his dream. I believe this is more than enough for us to give him peace. Us? You're coming with me? I have still not fully recovered from my last battle. Nevertheless, it will not stop me. You move on, and I will catch up as soon as I can. I will be with you at the end of this nightmare. Alright, I'd better get going. See you at the final depth, Amelia. That is reassuring. I'm glad to have you, sweet, sweet Tutu. The 15th dream. I went to the library of Absolute, an infinite place that contains every version of every story and event. I was looking for information on how to defeat Thomas. Tutu said that he would be indestructible, otherwise hiding at the very final depth of the dream. It wasn't easy, but after traversing the library, I finally found a book containing that knowledge. It said that Thomas is still the one dreaming, and all that I need to do is to destroy the pillars holding the foundation of his dream. Once that is done, it should be possible to defeat Thomas once and for all. Heavy shit, though. Alex, did Alex want to give us a quick call, a quick check-in, and see where things are at this stage? Alright, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was heading into the finale here when I booted up, like this most recent episode. And it seems like there's one more. I think I got one more leg of this thing to finish it all off. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go take a lunch break, and I'm going to play it immediately. thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon.